With the current Barnes& and Noble sale going on for the Criterion Collection, I think it would be fun for me to make another Criterion Collection Blu-ray and DVD video for y'all today. It is a Sunday afternoon, and I think it is a fantastic time to show more DVDs and Blu-rays that I recently bought, or I probably forgot them in my previous Criterion Collection video back in May, and this will be very exciting to do this right now. It feels amazing to be back talking about the Criterion Collection again. I have really enjoyed watching a lot of Criterion Collection movies over the summer, and for me to be back just talking more about Criterion Collection makes me so excited to make videos on them again. And to start off this, I would like to show my first Criterion Collection of this video of City Lights by Charlie Chaplin. This is an amazing Blu-ray to own from the Criterion Collection. The first thing that I love about it is just how digitally restored this movie is from 1931. It is really awesome that the Criterion Collection restored this film from the early 30s and to make it more visually appealing for today's viewing experience. And this is a really awesome movie. I reviewed it back in April, on April Fool's Day of this year. And I just love City Lights because this is one of the most classic silent films of that time in 1931 when Charlie Chaplin decided to stick with the tramp character and to still use silent cinema as a form of entertainment when films were beginning to use sound mixtures for their films in the early 30s. And this was a very revolutionary film. It was basically Charlie Chaplin proving that he can still make silent cinema a very relevant type of art form in today's world. And rewatching City Lights, it's very funny. I mean, the movie is very focused on visual and physical comedy. It actually makes you feel as if you are watching like Tom and Jerry, with the sound effects, the falls, the slips, the banana peels, the pie in the face. And I mean, if you just look at it, it's got Charlie Chaplin artwork. And then when you look inside the Blu-ray, you got the Blu-ray disc, and then you got the booklet of the behind-the-scenes featurette of what went on during the filming of City Lights and how it took Charlie Chaplin some time to make this movie because it was his big passion project for that time. Second Criterion Collection on Blu-ray is Frances Ha by Noah Baumbach. And the cool thing about this Criterion Collection Blu-ray is that it has a DVD copy added to this collection or to this set. And that is so cool because it reminds me of the Blu-ray plus DVD plus digital combo pack that we have in our movies. And it's really nice that Criterion made Frances Ha a Blu-ray and DVD combo pack. And this is a movie directed by Noah Baumbach. He was the director of the recent Netflix film Marriage Story with Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. And it is a movie that I really love. If you have not seen Marriage Story, please go check it out. It is worth your time because the acting is incredible in that film. So, Frances Ha, directed by Noah Baumbach. It came out around 2012, 2013 in some film festivals, and this movie stars director slash actress Greta Gerwig, and this was one of her earlier roles, and this was before Greta Gerwig got into films such as Lady Bird and the recent Little Women remake. And this is a movie that is shot in black and white. It does pay tribute to classic cinema traits with black and white cinematography, protagonist struggling, and a lot of French New Wave cinema traits with French music, and then even a trip to Paris in this film. And this is a movie that I find very delightful to watch. It is an amazing movie. It's very heartwarming. I love this movie so much. And I guess from what this film was going for, from my own interpretation, is just this movie tries to explore about how you can find small achievements in your life despite living in a gray world. When Frances Ha is with her friend or her boyfriend or with her family in Sacramento. And that's just what I love about this movie because it has such a very unique visual style and direction, which is why I find Frances Ha such a great movie to watch from the Criterion Collection. Third Criterion Collection thing that I would love to share with y'all is a movie that I already reviewed on my channel, but I would love to explore it again. With this is Breathless by Jean-Luc Godard. And this was a movie, like I said, was a film that I actually watched when I was a freshman in college. It was in my intro to cinema class, and I remember having such a blast watching this movie, especially knowing how this movie was a part of the French New Wave when French filmmakers were breaking rules of classic cinema storytelling and classic cinema techniques with, instead of having a protagonist that is just having some sort of goal, this movie has a protagonist that is just worried about his own life. He over worries about death and the afterlife. But this is a movie I had such a blast reviewing on my channel, and this is another movie I highly recommend. It will be a bit confusing for some folks, and even I got confused with some parts of the movie when I watched it for the first time, especially when it went to the French conversation scenes. But if you look at this, it's shaped like a newspaper, especially with the font. It looks amazing. And what I also love about this Criterion Collection DVD is that, you have these Criterion Collection DVD discs that are green and blue. It looks totally amazing, and the booklet feels kind of like an envelope or a newspaper as well. This is a really cool Criterion Collection DVD to own, and I am happy to show this with y'all because of how much I enjoy Breathless. Fourth Criterion Collection item I would love to share in my video is my most recent movie review, and that is Eraserhead by David Lynch. And this is a movie from 1977 that was so monumental at that time. And the thing that makes this movie so bizarre is just how gross and kind of graphic this movie is. And that is due to how David Lynch enhanced practical effects for all of the creatures and the figures from Henry's imagination or his nightmare. And this was a body experimental horror film because this was a type of movie that did not want to try to follow classic storytelling with protagonists, antagonists. It instead explores about things that we see in our minds and how they reflect to our imagination and how we can think of the most messed up things in our brains. And what I love about this DVD is just how big this case feels, because when you open the DVD itself, you have the leprosy man from the opening shot, as well as the planet that was also in the opening of the film that was probably from Henry's head. And the cool thing about it is that the discs are very dark, and then you have this giant booklet of Eraserhead. And the cool thing about this booklet is that when you read about it, you get to see behind the scenes pictures of David Lynch and everyone else from the cast and the crew when they were filming Eraserhead. And this was a movie that was very ambitious, especially for 1977. And knowing David Lynch's style is just really cool about how he enhances practical effects in a film. As I said, this is a movie that will definitely inspire filmmakers to be as creative as they can using practical effects, low budget, and especially with the way how Lynch used cinematography and effects for this film. Highly recommend Eraserhead. It's a very weird film, but it will take some time to appreciate. It took me a few viewings to really like this movie, and this is still a great film to watch. The last movie I would love to share with y'all from my Criterion Collection Volume 2 video is The Life Aquatic by Wes Anderson. And this is a movie from 2004, and this was a film with Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, Jeff Goldblum, Kate Blanchett, and so many other roles. And this is a movie that people have a lot of mixed feelings on, depending on which type of film do you prefer from Wes Anderson. And I have to tell you that even though I love Wes Anderson, this may not be my most favorite, but it is the most visually beautiful Wes Anderson film, in my opinion. People have a lot of mixed feelings because The Life Aquatic is a movie that is very, very slow paced. There are a lot of conversation scenes that people might feel mixed on, nor do they feel very involved with, the storytelling. But I have to say that the Life Aquatic's redeeming qualities are the visuals, the cinematography, the colors, the style enhanced by Wes Anderson. And even if this movie is not Wes Anderson's best, it is still a movie that you can revisit and just really appreciate for what Wes Anderson has done. In fact, that is the reason why I just love Wes Anderson so much in general. In fact, he is actually a director and writer that has really inspired me to make my own movies one day and to hopefully get into writing and especially creating characters that are very relatable and quirky. And this is a reason why I just love watching movies. The Life Aquatic is definitely a film to revisit or to watch from Wes Anderson, and I too highly recommend this film. And those are all the titles that I wanted to share for this video. I had an amazing time sharing with you my new DVDs and Blu-rays from the Criterion Collection. Yes, this video was probably not as long as the previous one that I made in May, but I was so happy to share with you new DVDs and Blu-rays that I bought from Barnes & Noble, and even some that I probably left out in my previous video. But other than that, I am always happy to make a movie review or a Criterion Collection review for everyone in this channel because movies just give me so much joy, and I am very excited to make more videos very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for more content, and please subscribe.